But it'll just be different commands. And yeah, that's
Wait, no library.
No jQuery. Yeah.
It's supposed to be
Because
jQuery is the best one.
Okay. I haven't brushed up on jQuery in a long.
Okay, yeah. So okay, well I can try doing it all. It's just going to be a much slower lecture. I'm going to have to look everything up. So why hello. Whenever the doorbell rings, I feel like I need to like get up and open and then offer refreshments. And okay, so all right. Okay, and how do I open this? If I want to view this page, how do I view it? This beautiful page that I just made.
You copy the full path and paste it into your browser.
If you have installed plugins, I do right click and then they're open in browser.
Oh, wow. Okay, I do not have that plugin installed. The way I would do it.
It's also a preview HTML package plugin.
Yeah, you just do copy full path.
Yeah, or I actually I'm just used to like the show and finder and then dragging it to Chrome. Okay, so there it is. DOM demo. All right. And now if I want to have I'm going to be writing some JavaScript. If I want to include that JavaScript in this file, how do I do that?
Gotta link it or script it.
Okay. And where would that go?
Right above the last body tag.
Okay. Why do we put it at the end of the body?
I was just going to say so that the page finishes loading before script starts running.
Why is that important for the page to finish loading before the script starts running? The script might reference page elements that haven't yet been rendered. Okay. All right, cool. So now we have our script. And let's just make sure that our script is running. And, oh no. This is just, this gives you, well, clearly my overlord, my ESLint overlord is telling me not to do it, but just all of the JavaScript that I've written before I started working here has been browser-side JavaScript, and I've always done use strict. It's just sort of a habit, but I'll obey ESLint for now and think about that later. So let's just console log hi there, just to make sure that we're loading this properly. And so how would I see whether that worked? Yeah, and what do you guys do? How do you guys open the developer console?
Right click.
Yeah, I do Option Command J. That's how I do it. Option Command I will get this open, but to the elements, not to the console. Everybody has their own way. Okay, and did you actually, well, I'm not getting the hi there, so there's my first problem. Sometimes I will make sure that I empty cache and hard reload because sometimes it's pretty aggressive about caching things, but I'm still not getting the hi there, so why not? I did. If I don't save it, you get this little blue dot there, so that's how I can tell whether or not I've saved it, but that's always a good question. Do you have to spell out source? Is it something? So it's a definition of insanity as like continuing doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Page.js, do I have to give it a relative path. Oh, I didn't close the frickin' script tag.
Oh, yep, that's important.
Thanks, Misha.
You're on Adam. I'm surprised it didn't auto do it for you. That's the thing. That's
Oh,
why I didn't even catch it.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's not true. You do sometimes put stuff in there, right? You could, if I just did like a script, and then I could do,
Oh yeah, because it's just JavaScript.
yeah, exactly. This is generally frowned upon, right? You know, but
It still works.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
it's not cool.
So we learned an important lesson. Okay, good. Always close your script tags. Okay, so, all right. So now let's start doing some, let's start doing some DOM manipulation. So first, let's actually have a button that changes the title. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give this element an ID. Why do I want to give this element an ID?
It's the easiest way to catch that element.
It's the easiest way to reference that element when I want to change whatever's going on in there. So the ID is, I'm going to say title, fine. And so now I can go to page, and we can get our console log high there. And so, oh, and then I also wanted to make a button. So let's make a button. And I'm going to give this an ID of title change. I don't know, people vary in the convention for how to separate words in IDs. Does anybody know what this case is called? Or, you know, like there's camel case, there's snake case. You know snake case? So camel case, snake case. That snake case is what's preferred in Python. And this one is called kebab case because it's like it's being skewered. Okay, so yeah, and I think kebab case is generally favored for IDs, but you'll probably get different answers if you ask different engineers. Okay, and so this button, and I'm going to say change title. Okay, great. So now let's go back into Page.js. So there are two things that I need to do in order to make it so that when you click on that button, it will change the title. What are the two things that I need to do?
Find this element and attach to the event listener.
Yeah, so attach event listener to the button. And then I also have to make a function, a callback for that event listener that changes the title. Okay, so first I'll attach event listener to the button. And because Ali has requested no jQuery, I have no idea how to do this without jQuery. So,
Ask us to do it.
oh, okay, all right, cool.
This is our involvement, right?
All right, yeah, okay, yes, this is, you have to do it. So, so tell me, how do I do this?
Document.
Document.
I don't know.
Is that all?
Okay, that's it. We're done. Mic drop. Yeah. Hold on, I've got a chat. What was the plugin to display the page mentioned by the audience? Mira, what I think what was the plugin to Atom that you used to just like
Open in browser.
The preview doesn't work very well as the
Okay. All right. So, all right, document. So, all right. So we're good. Document dot. Okay, and let's remember what we called it. So what do we want, title or title change? This is for the event listener. Yeah. So title change. Okay, now what?
Dot on.
Dot on click. Okay, and I'm
on click does it like that, or is it on and then in parentheses?
I've
No,
seen it both
it's on
ways.
click.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
2 ways.
Right.
Just a little preview for the Python lecture this afternoon. In Python, one of the core concepts is that there should be only one obvious way to do things, right? JavaScript does not heed to that core concept. Okay. What is this E here? It's the event. It's the event that caused or that triggered this event listener. So it's going to be the click event.
So I think what you're thinking about with the click in the parentheses is when you do dot add event listener. And then you
Oh,
put
okay.
click.
So there's
Yeah, and so
like that. Okay. Okay. All right. So you can either do that or you can do the on click.
Some is more preferred way.
Which one's more preferred?
I think this is more preferred, and then when it goes together on click, that's mostly used for like when you embed directly in HTML, and that is kind of like anti-pattern.
Okay. All right. So from Mira's research, it is that you should not embed it in the HTML, but when you do, you would use onClick. Okay. All right. So add event listener, click E. Okay. So now we're getting this here, and what do we want to do? Well, so I said the second thing is to make the callback. We're sort of making the callback inside here, so I can. Okay, so how are we going to change the title?
Now
I learn, okay, and then it was title. Okay.
color.
Just like this, HTML. Inner HTML. Find your inner HTML. Like that, or is HTML all caps, or?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can start doing some of that stuff in a minute.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna do other stuff, it's easier just to set that to a variable. Instead of typing out document.element and get element by ID every time.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we could say.
Not that.
You're talking about the title, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the title.
So like,
I mean, because you're only ever going to be clicking the button once, but if you want to do like multiple operations or change multiple these things are called properties of that element.
Okay. So we can take the element and do this with it. Okay. So now let's refresh. Change title. Nothing happened.
So inner HTML, the HTML and L are all capitalized. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Okay, it probably does. There we go, new title. Okay, so we refresh, and we do new title. What if we wanted it to change back when we clicked it again?
Oh, thank you for answering this question.
We add another event
I don't want to add another event listener, sorry.
You can change it back to the
Use a conditional.
Oh,
So if
okay.
title element dot inner HTML. Oh, and we're in JavaScript world. What do I call it? DOM demo. Okay. So ESLint is mad at me because I really should do a let. Actually, not here. I should do a let change title. Okay. Oh, all right. We're gonna do a var.
use let. You just need to actually use the variables to ESLint.
Oh, got it. Okay, good. All right, so now we have this, and okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. First of all, let's let change title. Yeah, so actually, give me recommendations for how to clean this up. What do you think, Celeste? I could use a ternary. Much better. Love those ternaries. Okay. Are there any other ways this could be cleaned up? I personally am a little uncomfortable having an explicit string used twice.
Well, yeah, it's not try code. So would you?
I would say const new title equals this. And then if I wanted to change what the new title was, I would only have to change it in one place as opposed to two. Okay, so let's see whether this works. Okay, so now we can go back and forth.
Can I see the code again? Like, can we kind of do a little walk?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, anytime there's a lot of changes, it's like,
Yeah.
start from the beginning and walk it.
Okay, who wants to volunteer to do a walkthrough of this code? Yeah, Josh.
All right, so at the top, we're just declaring the title element variable and setting it equal to the title element, so we can modify properties and all that fun stuff on that. Then we are getting the elements. We're selecting the title change button. We're adding the event listener. Event listener is specifically listening for on-click events. Using a callback function, not passing any arguments through it. So at the top of the callback function, we're declaring a variable called new title and setting it equal to new title or the string new title. That way, if we ever have to change the variable, we don't have to change that string. We don't have to change it like 15 different places or something like that. Then we are next thing we're declaring another variable, change title. And we are then using a ternary statement to basically if title element of inner HTML title element equals new title, which is getting the value very well above, set that value to DOM demo. Otherwise, colon is just else new title, set the value to new title. Then we're just actually doing the operation. That.
Okay. Do you have questions, Misha? Okay. I still feel like this is a little brittle. Oh, what's your unease with it, Mira?
Maybe I would. So that is like creating one more variable, but maybe I would assign to some variable that title change elements.
The title change element?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we can do that. Okay. I also feel like hard coding this is pretty brittle. Because what if I decide that I want to call it really awesome DOM demo? Now hey. Oh, that was this title. Now, if I change title, it goes to new title. But if I change it back, it goes to DOM demo.
Cache the original title.
Yeah. So Jedi is recommending caching the original title. How would you do that?
On first, we should be able to say get element by ID title, and then
Which we have up here. So title element.
Document HTML.
Okay. Now I have a problem though. Because that's going to be local to the function. So when the function runs again, we're not going to be able to use it, right? It's going to be gone. Plus, it's actually going to change every time we run the function. What do you think, Celeste?
What happens if it's outside of the function?
Yeah, here's where you might just want to make it global. I don't love it because global variables make me uncomfortable, but this will work. And that's really the only way to cache it because anything that you put inside the function is just going to be lost when the function is done running.
So is that working because original title is grabbing the title at the time, like the first time it's declared?
Before the button has ever been clicked.
And then it's just keeping it that same.
So let's try it again. What else do you guys want to do with the DOM?
Add a div.
You want to add a div? Add some content. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put, all right. So let's, in the HTML, I am going to say, let's do an H2. I'm going to say my little, let's see, my little pony collection. Okay, and every time I get a new My Little Pony, I can add it to my collection. So I'll have an unordered list, and I'm going to give this an ID of ponies, and then I'll close the unordered list. Okay. And now I'm going to have a button above the unordered list Thank you. And then I have to make a place where I can, so let's say add pony. And before the button, I'm going to put just an input. And it's important for me to give this one an ID too, because at some point I'm going to want to grab its contents. So, okay, so I have an input, I have a button, and I don't think I have to close the input. I'm not sure about that. I'll do it anyway. Okay, so, all right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, great. So now I can add a pony if I want. But nothing's going to happen, obviously. We need to code that. So let's go back here and let's go to page. And all right, so what are we going to need to do? What's our plan for being able to add a pony?
To get the text from the field.
Okay.
Select those elements.
Yeah, so like sort of as a, and actually we want to be able to access the button, the input field, and what else? So we can just do that right now. So the button is pony entry. The button, or so the input is pony entry. The button, I don't like add ponies now. I want to say pony button, just make that easier. And let's call this pony list. And then that now is like just easier to remember. Okay, so pony input, pony button, pony list. There you go. All right, so okay, cool. So now, okay, let's see. I'm gonna use my like Jared magic. All right, and now I'm going to, for this one, see. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna delete. I don't think I can do it. What's that?
What's the combination of getting?
So if I select something and then I do a Control D, it'll select the next of the same thing, and the cursor will be in both places, which is just freaking amazing, right? Okay. So I'm selecting this. It's sad that like this one's lowercase and this one's uppercase. Otherwise, it'd be even slicker. And then I do Command D, which selects this. So now my cursor is in both places. I'm deleting that, but since the cursor is in both places, I can delete the next one too, and type list. And then I just want to, I did escape to get my cursor just back into one place, and now I have to do a little bit of cleanup. Okay, so, all right, so now, all right, so we need to get the text from the input field. What else do we need to do? What are other things that we're going to need to do in order for this to happen? Okay. What's that? Create a list item. Okay. So this is all stuff that's going to happen after what? Yeah, so we also need to make an event listener on pony button. Okay, so All right, so on click now, and now these are the things that we want to do on click. Okay. All right, you have a problem because, yeah, okay, good. All right, so get the text from the input field. So I'm going to say const new pony name equals pony input what? This is where you guys have to help me because I would do this in jQuery. Like that? However will we know? Well, let's try stuff out here. So I'm going to say sparkles. Okay, so let's see. And so now I'm going to say document.get element by ID. I named them well, so it's pony input. Can remember dot value. Let's see what happens. Oh, nope. Oh, can't read value of null. Did you not? You can't get element by ID pony input. Did I have to refresh the page? Okay, and now if I do dot value, and I have a syntax error in my JavaScript, but I'm not going to worry about that now. All right, value. Oh, but I didn't put sparkles in. All right, so dot value. Definitely, this is the best way to like figure out what's going on. Okay. All right. Create a list item. How do we do that?
Get a string with some list item tags.
You can also make a new element that's a list item. Let's document.create new element. Was it just create element? Ah, yes, thank you. Create element. Okay, so now I have a list element. It hasn't gone anywhere. Like it's just sitting there in my JavaScript. Okay, so I have a list element. And let's here do a pony li dot. How can I add sparkles to my newly created list element? No, not sparkles. Wait, otherwise every pony I add is going to be sparkles. Okay, new pony name. And then okay, watch this. So how do I get to the next item? Because I want to change them both. I want to change them both to element. Command D.
Hold on. Oh, okay. I was gonna tell you about Command Control G.
Command Control G will select all of them. Yeah. But you got to be careful about that because like there might have been items elsewhere on the page. Yeah.
But like with things that you know are going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, Command Control G. Really good one. Okay, so all right, I still am not making you happy. You don't like my padding. Okay, so yeah, so how do we add it to the pony list now?
Append child, is that?
Oh no, I would do it with jQuery. So let's try append child. Okay, so let's review. We tagged a bunch of elements, or we sort of stored a bunch of elements in variables, and we added a click event listener to the button. We collected the value that the user had typed in the input field. Then we created an element a list element, a list item element. We added the new pony name to that list item element. And then we added that whole element with, after we do this, it's going to look something like li sparkles li. And then we took that whole thing and we added it to our pony list. All right, so let's refresh. It should work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had saw it in child a while ago. There you
All right, there's Sparkles. Okay.
You watch My Little Pony.
No, I'm just making these up.
You would be surprised with their names. Sparkles is one.
Is it really? Okay. What else do you want to do with the DOM?
So we had a button that changed
In the assessment, what we have to, one of the things that we need to do is create a modal that pops up and takes information from the that's already written and then like be able to manipulate it. Like, so we have like a list of like things and like say prices. We have to be able to, like, when we click on a button next to it, have a modal pop up that pulls the price from exactly the list item that we, or the part of the table that we use, and then like manipulate that information. And so that's where I get really lost is
Okay.
that part.
Okay.
I can't get my modal to work properly.
Okay. Well, that's yeah. So I'm not going to do like actual assessment stuff here, clearly.
No,
but
I just
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to
That's
know
that's.
about modals.
But okay, I'm gonna actually continue with DOM manipulation, but I am gonna do something that
Okay, I thought the
that's-
modals were part of DOM
it's just showing and
Okay.
and hiding. You know, I can certainly show and hide things, right?
That's my biggest issue is showing and hiding.
Okay.
It's not
All right. So yeah. So let's
so-
do classes to show and hide things. Okay. And then I actually. Okay. Yeah. I want to do classes to show and hide things. So let's say after you've changed the title, I don't want you to be able to change the title ever again. You get to change it once and that's it. So I'm going to hide the change title button after you've changed the title. All right, so I'm going to just comment this out because I might send this code to you and I want people to be able to use it. So let's go here and so in this case, I think the best way to hide it is to change its style. So first of all, I'm here now. I don't care about the original title because you're just going to change it once. So I'm just going to forget about this, or actually, just going to say fine. So that's easy. But first, I want to hide the button. And we can hide the button by setting its display style to none. So how do you change a style without using jQuery?
Oh.
Looking it up because I've done the property.
It's styled at whatever the property is. So it's document packet, document by its ID dot style, whatever property is.
Shall we try that?
Yeah.
Okay. Aha. Okay, so making it disappear. Not too bad. Oh, it's just so sad if I don't have any ponies in my collection. And actually, so I want to do something else now that we're playing with style. Let's make it so that when you click a pony name, it will change it to a random color other than black. Wanna try it?
Wait, random color or a set color?
I'm gonna make it a random color because that's more fun. Okay. So, okay. So the first thing I want to do, oh, this is hard though because the pony elements are yeah. So okay, that's okay. We can do it. We can do it. Okay. So because the pony elements, I can't just create event listeners when the page runs because the pony elements aren't even on the page when the page runs, right? And I know at least the way jQuery works, if you add an event listener to a class, it will only add the event listener to things of that class that exist on the page at that time. If you make new things with that class, they won't get the event listener. Right? So my first thought about this was that I make sure that the pony LI gets a class. This is going to be necessary in any event. So pony LI, how do I add a class? Can I do add class? Is that? Let's say pony name. Let's just make sure that that worked.
I think it's class name, but I might be wrong.
Oh, add class is not a function. So class name.
Yeah. And then it's just equals and then the string. It's not in the
Got it.
parentheses.
Okay. Add class with pony name, that's jQuery. So, all right, let's try again. Okay, and so now let's look at this. And does it, it has a class of pony name. So that's awesome. Okay. So, great. So now I have that. And we can just try to add an event listener to turn, and let's just turn ponies pink for now. Okay. And okay, so document.get elements by class, I'm guessing. Name. How else do you specify classes? But okay, fine. So pony name dot add event. Oh, so wordy. Okay, click.
Yeah, that's why I understand jQuery. It's like a little quicker.
Yeah, it's a little bit more elegant, but that's okay. And actually, it's a lot more elegant for a bunch of things, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so so get elements by class name, and now what do we want to do? We want to turn that particular pony pink. How do we reference that particular pony? This. I just want to, for now, I just want to console log this. I just want to look and see.
It's not going to work using your function.
Oh, frickin' frack. Okay. Yes, thank you for, okay. What'd you say?
The many phases of this.
Oh.
Talk about how screwy this is,
Yeah.
Where you use it.
Okay, get elements by class, or get elements by class name is dot add event listener is not a function. So where did we mess that? Can somebody help me with the get elements by class name? Okay, so if I just do get elements by class name, I do pony name. Well, right now I have none, so let's put sparkles in there. And okay, so, and then if I do that dot add, oh, I think I have to do a dot for each. Again, this is where jQuery is right. And obviously, if I do a dot for each, there are none of them, right? So that's not going to work at all. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to add the event listener when I create the pony. And I want to add it to pony li, right? So, okay. I'm going to leave the class there. It might be useful later, but I'm not going to use it now because I'm actually just directly adding. And you know what? I'm sorry. You're just going to have to live with it. ESLint. Okay. So, so let's just console log this and see what we get. So let's, and just because I'm in teaching mode here, this is a good way, rather than trying to write it all at once and then like click and see what happens, right? Of just doing it gradually, seeing, you know, like just doing it piece by piece to see whether you can get little bits of it working rather than trying to like do the whole thing at once. So we'll add pony sparkles. Okay, and then if I click it, it's finding that element. It's not giving it to me as, it's giving it to me as a string as opposed to an element, but we'll just see. Okay, so fine. So now we want to do this dot, okay, style dot color equals pink. Sparkles is, What if I didn't want that dot to be pink? Because I don't. And in fact, I really want it to be magenta. A deeper pink. And what if I don't want that dot? I really don't want that dot to be pink. How can I deal with that?
Just to guess, but you get the value of the element.
Well, yeah, so if I get the value of the element, it'll return to me some text, but it's not going to return to me an element that I can make pink.
I know, I usually just get rid of those bullet points whenever I do. So I've never like...
Sparkles wants the bullet point.
One way you could do it would be to put the actual text inside of a span element of the class and modify that color as opposed to modifying.
Yeah, that's the way I was thinking as well. So what I can do now is I can say instead of pony li enter HTML equals new pony name, I could say const pony name span equals, right? And then now, instead of doing the pony li enter HTML pony name span, what am I going to want to do? How am I going to connect the li element in the span?
Well, it should be pony name span dot enter HTML. Pony name.
Okay.
Just want to put the
Oh, right, this one here. Okay.
I guess modify HTML.
Do you want to just do the same thing, or you said only li in your HTML to
I can't really do that because then it would put the inner I don't even know. Inner HTML is expecting a string and pony name span is an element, so weird things might happen. What about append child? So we can do here.
Oh, because you're appending the span to that line.
Exactly. And now instead of adding the event listener on the LI, I can do it on the pony name span. Yeah.
Can you tell me what append child is?
Yeah, so what it does is it takes the element. So the question was, what does append child do? Append child takes the element to which you're appending, and it like looks at all of its children, its HTML children, and after the last one, it puts whatever you asked it to put there, right? So if I had, so in this case, I basically just have a blank LI element. And if I append a child, it's just going to put that span in there. And in this case, the span hasn't actually had anything done with it, so it actually looked like this. If I had appended it down here, the span would actually have its inner stuff, but it doesn't matter when I add it. It'll add it to the span either before or after I've appended the span to the list. And then if I wanted to, I could also, for that LI, let's say I wanted to append an image, right? And then, so then I could make an image. I could do, let's see. Equals document dot create element image. And well, now that I've created the image, so I want to change the image's source property. How do I do that? Do I do like properties? You guys do that while I find a good pony image. Yeah. Okay. Save image as. Unfortunately, I think this one is going to be rather large. Let me. Oh, is it attributes? Set attribute? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Oh my God.
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Right.
Oh, poor diaper. My goodness. Okay.
My nieces and my son all love this show.
Diaper's getting quite the treatment there. Okay. All right. So pony image dot set attribute. That's what it was. It's probably going to be a string, and then this one I called it sparkles.jpg. Okay, and let's get sparkles.jpg into its proper. Let's stop looking at diaper. That's just disturbing to me. And Okay, so let's move sparkles. Do you guys know this trick? You can do move and then you can drag this here and then just, I'm going to move it to this directory.
No. I usually have to know the file name.
Yeah. Okay, so now, all right, so now Sparkles is with us. Okay, so let's go back and review what's actually going to go on. So all right, so I'm creating a list element, and then I'm creating a span and an empty span and appending it to the list element. Then I'm creating an image, an empty image. And actually, now that I'm doing this, I actually want to separate this out. So, okay, first I create the list element, then I create an empty span and append it to the list element, and I give it some attributes. And you know, I make it say the pony name. Then I create an image. And I give it an attribute here. And I also want to give it a style because I just don't want it to be huge. So I'll say pony image dot style dot max width. Is that how it goes? Okay. And I'm going to say 100 pixels. I just don't want it to be too big. Okay.
I want to see it now. Like, I'm weird. For me to really understand the DOM, I have to like go back and forth. I have
That's
to, like,
great. Yeah.
do it, see it. Does it work? No. Okay. Like,
So let's go back here.
that's why I know part of the test that's gonna take me a minute.
Okay. So now we're going to add the pony. Line 55. Did not like it. Oh, it's because I was doing all this down here. So add sparkles. Max width is not a function. Okay.
Just try width alone. Maybe it doesn't need to be width.
Okay. That's a good call for the amount of time that we have. Okay.
It's like it's trying to set it there. So it's,
Okay. So, we did style here.
Equals.
okay. Okay, that's coding.
Misha, you're entirely too laid back about this.
I mess up a lot, so I have to.
Okay, good. So it did sparkles. No, not yay. Where's the image? Okay,
We
but
got the purple.
we got the purple and it's not doing it with the dot, but I am not leaving this chair until I can see sparkles. So let's inspect. Oh, there is an image. Oh, but it's not called IMAGE. What kind of Neanderthals are we? Okay.
Elements.
Excuse us for spelling it out.
Oh, there's sparkles, and then I can make it pink.
Yay. Okay. That's great.
All right. So, cool.
Any jQuery.
I did not use any jQuery, but I leaned heavily on you guys and your mad Googling skills. So, okay, I'll put the recording up and I'll put the code up as well for you guys to look at.
Is there a because I haven't looked at the curriculum too far in depth. Is there a benchmark or module where the CSS and HTML is darn near done for us, and all we are doing is like domming it out? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The question is there an HTML module where you've got HTML and CSS already written for you, and you're just like manipulating the DOM?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody see anything like that, or do you have to create your CSS and HTML file and then dom it?
Yeah, like everything's been from scratch.
Everything's been from scratch.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like everything's been from scratch.
So that would take some Steve advice from yesterday. Build something, just to play around, build something on your own and just
keep
Play around with it. I mean, you know,